around like that at age 58. So I want to get that out the way first. But I wanted to get to a bigger point. Because the time comes, somewhat pun intended, for us to take the gloves off when it comes to Jake Paul. Now, unlike people who worked with me, unlike people who are friends and colleagues, what have you, I didn't find it funny.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank.
That don't that even he recognizes that he's too big for him.
Yes.
He recognizes that he's too big for him.
Stephen A. Smith attacked Jake Paul for battling Gervonta Davis, claiming that Jake is simply too big for him. He stated that Jake continues to choose battles that do not truly test his abilities, and that this one is one-sided and non-competitive. According to Smith, Jake avoids opponents at his level, indicating that he prefers easy wins over serious boxing difficulties.
That was Mike Tyson. Now you're going into the ring against a cat that's 228. He's a young lion, and no matter what questions may exist about Jake Paul and his ability to box real boxers, because we haven't really seen that yet from him, we don't question his power. Mm-hmm. We know he's got power.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith asked Gervonta Davis coach who Tank should face next in the ring. The coach did not think twice. He made it clear that the first person who should step forward is someone who has spoken negatively against Davis. People like Shocker Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez have publicly questioned Tank's fighting ability. His argument isn't just about competing with the coach. It's also about showing respect. He believes these men should feel Tank's strength for themselves. The purpose is not just to get back at the individual for what they said. It's about shutting up those who keep claiming Davis isn't the best. He believes it's time to humiliate the talkers and reveal the true quality of Tank's skills.
Who do you want to see? You, as a guy that's in his trainer, that's like a father figure to him, you're training him all the time, you know him, both y'all from the streets of Baltimore the whole bit. Who do you want to see Tank fight next?
I want him to get all of them that ran their mouth.
Give me the names. I need names, Calvin. I need names.
You already know. We went down to, we working on the big four. It was Garcia. That's the first one. Roma, I hope we get him soon. Shakur, he's going to get it. He know he's going to get it. It's just Bob is in charge of that. You know what I'm saying? Bob know what he's doing over there. You can't tell Bob how to run his game because he's like a vet at this. He's been doing it for so many years. That's going to happen. All the fights that we'll want, they have no choice. They're going to take the fight when it's time to take the fight. It's just right now, who's going to take the fight? That's the question.
Harry Spears, a comedian and commentator, did not hold back when discussing the situation. He believes the next battle is more of a show than a legitimate sporting event. Even if Spears considers it a circus, he believes in Davis's strength and precision. He believes Tank will end the show early, knocking out his opponent in the third round. The distinction between his criticism and admiration is clearly evident. He understands that the bout is overhyped, but he admires Tank's ability to end fights quickly. Many fans share Spears' opinion that this clash is both stupid and intriguing. It's entertaining and skillful. And even skeptics cannot dispute that Davis may terminate the show with a severe message. Before the struggle progresses too far,
the next fight that's coming up is Tank Davis versus Jake Paul.
Oh, this is such a circus.
Yeah. Look, according to BetOnline.ag, Gervonta Davis is favored -240, Jake Paul's +190. So more than twice the odds for Davis. Davis is a lot smaller, but he's a real serious fighter.
I'm predicting a third round knockout.
Ooh.
Third
round knockout.
He's out of there. Listen, I don't know what's the bigger joke, that fight or Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather.
We'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, this is honestly just disappointing. As a boxing fan, to just keep seeing these circuses happen over and over again.
I don't know if the rumor's true, but I heard Floyd was talking about coming out of retirement to fight Crawford. Now that's got some panache to it.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
but I think Floyd will end up taking a loss.
Finally.
That's the thing. He'd mess up that record.
Yeah, and I would respect him for it because we know how much he's tried to protect the record. Take the risk. This is what great fighters are supposed to do.
Yeah, but it's interesting because people were saying that Terrence Crawford should retire because he's, 43-0 at this point?
Okay.
He's like 37 years old. I personally don't.
But he still got the goods though.
Oh, he's got the goods.
Yeah, he still got the goods.
Because Canelo was a monster. Had been dominating for a while.
Right.
And like he had only had like 2 losses, one of which was Mayweather, very early in his career. But this whole like Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis thing, just like, because Gervonta was supposed to fight Roach. It was supposed to be a rematch because it was, I believe, a draw last time.
Yeah.
So you go and fight Jake Paul instead? I'm sure it's a much bigger bag. I'm sure it's a much bigger bag.
And clearly that's what it's about. It's the bag, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, pretty soon they're going to have Denzel Washington fighting somebody. Like, you know, they're going to start putting like old men. I mean, they're already putting old men in the ring.
As long as before the fight, Denzel looks at his watch and goes, 16 seconds. I'm with it.
Stephen A. Smith, known for his outspokenness, wants boxing to cease being about the show. He believes Gervonta Davis should focus on serious bouts that test him to his limits, rather than exhibition matchups that accomplish little for his legacy. Smith stated that he wants to see Tank fight Ryan Garcia again, a man who still has unfinished business with him. He also stated that Teofimo Lopez and Shocker Stevenson would make excellent opponents for Davis, because they could challenge him emotionally and physically. It's easy to understand Smith's point. Fans demand meaningful battles. These are the types of fights that produce champions and restore the competitive spirit of the sport. He does not want Davis's potential to be wasted on insignificant tasks. He wants it to be seen against true adversaries who may help him improve even more.
To me personally, I want to see him fight a Garcia again. I want to see him fight a Teofimo Lopez, somebody like that that's got some power, somebody that has the potential to inflict some pain upon him, because I don't know if anybody can do it. And I've totally lost it with David Haney. After what I saw Ryan Garcia do to him, even though Ryan Garcia was a bit bulked up.
Jake Paul's management of his career is becoming increasingly unpopular among boxing analysts. They claim that his latest fight announcements follow the same pattern. He selects unusual opponents who get people talking but do not make the fights intriguing. Many analysts believe that these fights are more about making headlines and becoming viral than improving Paul's performance in the ring. They believe he often avoids opponents with similar experience, weight, or technical background. Critics claim that the events he organizes attract millions of people, but the entertainment value comes at the expense of authenticity. The performance takes precedence over the sport, and the narratives frequently appear to have been scripted rather than spontaneous. This is why purists argue that Paul is more of a showman than a legitimate professional contender.
Performance. Jake Paul won the fight. But yeah, that was that. This time, Jake Paul is to take on Tank Davis. Tank Davis, he was recently in the news for being arrested for a domestic violence incident involving one of his kids' mother. He was alleged to have slapped her about the place. The charges were later dropped, to be fair to him. But yeah, that was when he was last in the news. What is interesting is just a couple of months ago, Tank Davis was saying openly that he'd lost his passion for boxing and that he wanted time away from the sport. There was speculation that he might even retire as he was experiencing extreme mental fatigue from boxing, depression, and there were mental health concerns over him. However, I guess the opportunity to earn a truck full of money, fighting a completely worthless exhibition fight against Jake Paul was enough to make him change his mind about boxing. Funny that, isn't it? But you know what? I'm not even going to waste your time or mine critiquing this utter nonsense. Suffice to say that this so-called fight we're talking about is an exhibition, and it pits Jake Paul, who is a cruiserweight, by the way, weighs in excess of 200 pounds. And Tank Davis, who is, he was the WBA lightweight champion, who weighs in at about 135 pounds when he fights. So that's a disparity of some 65 pounds. In old money, that's about 4.5 stone. There's also a significant difference in height. Jake Paul is roughly, 6'1", 2. Gervonta Davis is 5'5" at best. So, there's a height disparity there of some 8 inches. And once again, this is Jake Paul showing total disrespect to boxing, in my opinion.
Jeff Mayweather, a well-known boxing personality, has publicly questioned the logic of this bout. The major issue that concerns him is how different the two men's sizes and weights are. He claims that boxing's division system exists to protect athletes from these types of challenges. In this circumstance, Jake Paul's naturally larger body provides him an unbeatable advantage. Jeff believes that even if Davis is superior at fighting, his height, weight, and strength provide him an unfair edge. He claims the bout was unjust and could damage the sport's reputation. For him, the match is more than just a fight between two people. It's a test of how far boxing promoters are ready to bend the rules for financial gain.
Look at how Tank started acting after he made $40 million with Ryan. When he make another $40+ million with Jake,
he's gonna go make $40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Rowe for what? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight none of those guys.
No, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing. You do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it. You want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40, 50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, give me that Canelo money, man.
Known for his harsh honesty, Carl Froch was forthright in his discussion of Jake Paul's actions. He stated that Jake intentionally chose smaller fighters to maintain a strength advantage. Froch feels it's insane that Jake chose Davis, who fights in a lower division, over naturally bigger opponents like Anthony Joshua or heavyweights. Froch believes Jake's actions reveal what he truly intends to do with his profession. It's about creating viral mismatches rather than actual impediments. Many veterans share his concerns about how celebrity matches are undermining boxing's traditions. Froch's bluntness raises a larger concern. Modern boxing may be abandoning honesty in favor of clicks and revenue.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank, and I mean, but with it being exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he's gonna be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's gonna probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
Daniel Cormier, a well-known combat sports expert, came out vehemently against the upcoming battle. He claimed that the fight did not ensure genuine competition, but rather a predictable outcome. Cormier claims that Jake Paul's size advantage makes the bout less entertaining, making it difficult for fans to take seriously. He stated that the weight difference affects more than just physical performance. It also has an impact on safety, stamina, and power absorption. He believes that while the event may pique people's interest, it lacks sporting merit. Cormier asserted that a constant emphasis on spectacle over content could compromise the integrity of boxing. Many athletes expressed dissatisfaction, believing that superficial promotional gimmicks are replacing the sport's proud traditions.
Supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think. But the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode, but hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in, and I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf, and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share, and subscribe to the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
People increasingly hold the belief that business, not prestige, drives Gervonta Davis's decisions. Analysts claim that his organization is prioritizing contests. That will earn them a lot of money over fights that will help him establish his championship legacy. The next bout with Jake Paul lends credence to this idea. For some, the bout demonstrates that boxing is about entertainment rather than athletics. Tank's reputation for dramatic knockouts ensures a lot of pay-per-view sales, and putting him up against a YouTube celebrity makes that much more likely. However, traditionalists interpret such behavior as a bad indication. They are concerned that boxers now prioritize how much money they can make over how excellent they are at fighting. Davis is certainly skilled, but his recent acts suggest that his legacy isn't his first goal. It is money.
Wait, I thought it was 190. Dean, that's bad. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that even he recognizes that he's too big for him.
Yes.
He recognizes that he's too big for him.
I'm wondering how this even came about. It can't be that Gervonta Davis needs money. That can't be the reason why
He's been a world
taking this
champion
fight.
so recently. How could he be broke?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he doing this for money? And then why and how is even Jake Paul doing this when no one respects it? Like, I can't think of anybody that respects this.
But Jake Paul has been able to carve out and make his own lane in boxing, and I've never seen anything like it, bro. He literally, I mean, we don't know what weight class he fights in any situation. We just don't know. He kind of makes his own rules.
He makes his own rules.
And it seems like people are playing by those rules. I remember a couple weeks ago, the WBC and the Jose Suleiman was very upset that he wasn't going to be able to put the belt on the winner at Canelo versus Crawford. That's the thing that's happened since the beginning of the time. Those guys are very powerful in boxing. But with Zuffa boxing, it was almost like that power was getting stripped away. They were very disappointed. But how can you take those sanctioning organizations seriously when they are sanctioning this?
That's my point. That's my point. That's why I think that this whole thing that we have, this boxing and this MMA argument and Zuffa getting into boxing, our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I talked about this before. Like, I didn't know why they were fighting because, I mean, Gervonta Davis's last fight was at 136 pounds.
The larger discussion about this fight is not only about who wins, but also about what it implies. Many individuals believe it demonstrates how the boundary between sportsmanship and entertainment has become blurred. Jake Paul's rise demonstrates that celebrity can be more essential than lineage, whereas Gervonta Davis' involvement demonstrates that even the best fighters can be lured into the spotlight. Some argue that these events detract from the sport's original spirit, making it about novelty rather than competition. However, enthusiasts argue that it is a development, a way to keep boxing in the public eye in an era when social media is so essential. In any event, the matchup forces the sport to confront its identity crisis. Is boxing still about proving who is superior via discipline and skill? Or has it evolved into a business in which celebrity determines who wins?
Criticism for fighting Jake Paul, but yet at the same time, he is going to fight Jake Paul. Now, what I find interesting is how people on one hand are going to criticize it, but on the other hand, try to take advantage of it for their own profit. So Shakur Stevenson, definitely for press purposes, definitely for publicity purposes, offers to get in the training camp and spar for Jake Paul. Spar Jake Paul for the Tank fight. Now, why would he be doing this? It's called copycat crap. Because the last big fight that took place, which was Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, guess what happened? Jaron Ennis went and sparred Canelo Alvarez to help Canelo Alvarez prepare for Terrence Crawford. So, do I think that that is coincidental? No, I do not. I think that it is trying to have your cake and eat it too. You are trying to complain and say Gervonta Davis is not a real competitive fighter, that this is a sideshow, freak show fight, but yet you want your name associated with it and you want to participate in it for your own good gain. Let me assure you that when Terrence Crawford said in an interview that he wouldn't fight Jake Paul, that's not a serious fight, and then they said, well, would you fight Jake Paul for $200 million? And he said, I'd be fighting Jake Paul.
People who watch boxing have stated that. While many people believe the fight is worthless, it does serve several reasons in the boxing industry. The attention that a controversial incident like this attracts benefits promoters, media networks, and even other fighters. The topic itself keeps people talking, allowing everyone engaged to make money. The same people who oppose the war also increase its popularity by constantly discussing it. This contradiction demonstrates that modern boxing requires both debate and competition to succeed. Every unfavorable review is a free advertisement. Every insult generates ticket sales. The irony is that what fans consider a joke is what keeps the industry running and current.
£95, bearing in mind Tank Davis fights at 135. That's £60 size difference. And Tank often weighs in light at 133.5 pounds. You know, he's 5'5", he's not a big guy. Okay, let's be honest, he's tiny. I could literally put him in my pocket. You know, he's a pocket rocket, but he's small. Yes, I know, I went too far. Let's move on. Jake's been fighting a cruiserweight, over 200 pounds. You know, he's 6'1". He's just a bigger guy. You know, a different beast. This is what Jake does. Love or hate him, he knows how to generate interest, get people talking. In his words, do the unthinkable. But guess what? People will tune in. What can I say? The guy's clever. He calls out AJ. The fight's looking likely. Everybody's outraged. Can't believe it. Then bang. He's fighting Tank. The man's half the size. He's done it again. Whether you like it or not, he's a marketing genius. He knows how to keep his name on your tongue. Everyone slated him for fighting Mike Tyson. I did too. He was fighting an old man with health problems. But guess what? I tuned in. And do you know why? Because curiosity killed the cat, and I wasn't alone. 100 million plus people tuned in.
That's it for today's video.